Something no one had done since Jackie Robinson 65 years ago. An attempted steal of the plate in the World Series Game 5. Spectacular highlights coming up in just a moment. And the night game and the NFL Sunday Night Football. DK Metcalf with a play for the ages. The spectacular chase down, part of an overtime thriller to cap off an NFL Sunday. All that and more as we get this thing going. Starting now, Dan Orlovsky is here. Rex Ryan is here. Ryan Clark is ready to go. Jessica Mendoza joins us in just a matter of moments. Let's get it going with the clash of the unbeaten Titans yesterday. And I mean that both literally and figuratively, because they were unbeaten and so were the Steelers. Steelers first drive, Ben Roethlisberger. Somehow, Dan, gets this one to Ebron.
This is a great play by Big Ben of just avoiding the rush. You see that underhand flick of the wrist to Ebron, set them up because they were backed up because of a penalty to get back into somewhat of a manageable second down.
Oh, Ben's got some things to say, and then he's got some things to do. Johnson, touchdown.
One-on-one, you get a backside slant. That backside linebacker leads to follow the back. Big ball by Big Ben.
Pick it up right before the half. Steelers up 17-7. Roethlisberger to Johnson again.
Great job of realizing zero pressure. Everybody's blitzing, put it on his back shoulder, let him spin out of that tackle.
He had 9 catches, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Third quarter, Titans way behind but not giving up. A.J. Brown, 73 yards.
Just an incredible catch by A.J. Brown. That ball gets tipped and you see the runaway speed. Great concentration to make that catch, and you feel like Tennessee finally got something going on offense.
Yes, they did. 27-14. Now it's a 10-point game. First and goal, Titans. Derrick Henry. They shut him down most of the day, but they can't stop this.
This is coming after that big hit and by Spillane, and a great job of Henry going vertical to get that conversion.
With the 3-point game, he has just 75 yards. And then Ben turning it over in the end zone.
Hey, this is a great throw. This is a great aggressive throw by Big Ben, but a fantastic job by the middle linebacker Brown of getting his hand in there in that Tampa 2 and then tips equal interceptions in the NFL.
Ben threw 3 picks, and so the Titans are coming down here to try and tie it with a field goal, and on a third down, Tannehill finds A.J. Brown, and they're in field goal range. But Stephen Gostkowski have been 2 frightening words all season long for the Titans, and unfortunately, it's up and it's no good. Oh, the heartbreak, Dan, and the shock in the building as it just fades just that much. He can't believe it. Ben can't believe it. Look, Ben, he missed it. He can't believe it. The Steelers win what was one of the best games of the NFL season so far. Maybe we see it again in the playoffs. Steelers unbeaten.
Feels good. Obviously, you want to be in this spot. You want to have these wins when you can. Obviously, a lot of our games have been at home, which you expect to win. But to go on the road twice and to come here to an AFC team that's undefeated as well and play them, it feels really good. But throw the we know what's coming up next week. We can throw the records and all the other stuff out the window because we've got a team coming off the bye that's one of the best in football.
All right, the only unbeaten left in football again, Dan, Rex, and Ryan Clark. And RC, you were trending all over the place on Friday after your comments about this game. How did it go relative to what you expected it to be?
It went exactly how I expected it to go. You told a team full of fist fighters that they needed to show up to a fist fight at 12 o'clock Central in Tennessee, and they came with their friends, and that's what I expected. I expected a very physical game by the front 7 of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I expected that Ben and this offense would come out and utilize as many weapons as they possibly could to attack a Tennessee Titans defense that's not very good. And that's what we saw very early on in this game. Ben was extremely sharp. The running game with James Conner was working extremely well. And the front 7 of this defense took the personal approach to trying to stop Derrick Henry. They didn't want him to get into the secondary and be able to still form smaller individuals. They wanted to show him that you had to run fast, you had to run hard, and you had to run aggressive early on in downs. And he didn't do that very well early on. And then we saw the Tennessee Titans do what they've done all season, continue to fight, continue to show the personality that Mike Vrabel has put into this team, that he has instilled into this organization. But Stephen Gostkowski, the guy that's been a roller coaster that we all love to ride, was on the downslope this time, and the Tennessee Titans couldn't get it into overtime. But the Pittsburgh Steelers win. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. The Tennessee Titans are still in that fight, and this was a game that we needed to see.
Anna, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the best team in the NFL.
No, they're not. They're one of the 3 best. Kansas City's still better, and I think Tampa Bay's better, but they've looked the best. Like, this team has looked the best, and they're only getting better. Like, I feel like Pittsburgh is just starting to figure themselves out. The challenge for Pittsburgh, or the challenge that they present to you, is they give you more questions than answers. You know, like, offensively, how do you match up? Like, do you match up with Deontay Johnson and Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool and Eric Ebron? The way that Big Ben goes, you know what, for a long time I've carried this football team, and now you guys go make plays. There's not a lot of teams that are going to match up with Pittsburgh offensively when they put all their weapons out there. And then there's not a lot of teams. RC, like, you can hear when RC talks about playing defense for Pittsburgh, he used the word personal. I don't know if there's a lot of teams, this weekend will be one of them with Baltimore, that feels good when they line up with their offense, that they're not going to be personally offended by the way Pittsburgh's going to play. Like, Pittsburgh's defense wants to embarrass you. Like, they physically want to impact you or harm you. And I don't know if there's a lot of teams that are willing to line up and play a football game against them for 60 plays.
You know, there's a lot of difference. If you didn't watch the game, it was more one-sided than the final score would appear. And then the Ben turns the ball over a few times, and the Titans have a good chance. But, Rex, you have a question about the Titans, and it's not about their offense.
No, it's definitely about their defense. And Greeny, when I look at it, look, Dean Pease, the great defensive coordinator, retired this season. I'm seeing how it's affecting this team. Look, they're living and surviving on turnovers. They had 3 interceptions. That's great. If you had 3 interceptions, you should win that game. Well, you're not. And to me, what's going to happen when it dries up? You're not getting the takeaways. Your defense is not good enough to match up with the elite teams. The Steelers, Kansas City, Baltimore. You're not going to match up with those teams. And can I just mention about this game right here?
Yeah.
I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers have never run away from a fight. They've run into a bunch of fights before. Yeah. All right? Neither has, Vrabel. And that's what this thing was about. But I'm going to tell you something like that. We kind of dismiss, like, Baltimore. Oh, yeah, they're playing Baltimore next week. Oh, what's this one? You want to see a fight? It's going to happen right there because who's got the better defense? It's going to happen. And, Ryan, you and I both know. Mike Tomlin and I, before games, would sit back and say, oh, yeah, because I knew my team was tougher than his. He knew his team was tougher than mine. And it's like, whoever wins, we already know. The most physical team's going to win, and we were okay with it. All right? And that's what's going to happen. They're going to be okay with that. We're going to find out.
No question. And that's next weekend's matchup, and we'll get to it.
One thing,
Ryan Clark, I'm coming to you. Because, RC, really quick, they can play defense with anybody. Ben, when he's flinging it around, has got as many weapons as he has maybe ever. You tell me right now, are the Steelers the best team in the NFL?
They aren't. They aren't. I think when they have a good day, they can beat anybody, but I don't necessarily believe that they're the best team in the NFL right now if everybody plays their best football. I think they're still behind Kansas City, and when you watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play yesterday, if they can play like that defense continues the ball, and now you're adding all these weapons, I think those are the top 3 teams in the NFL.
All right, I've been trying to talk everyone into this since August. I'll keep trying. Meanwhile, let's get you to the afternoon matchup. Buccaneers and Raiders. John Gruden coaching against